Damn, son, where'd you find this?
Ladies, understand something. The top end of a woman's weight is 145 pounds. Okay. My mother's 5'9", and she was 145 pounds until she was 50. That's the top end of your weight, because there should be about a 40-pound difference between you and men.
Basically, if the guy is rich, what ends up happening is the lawyer contacts the person and be like, hey, you know, your name gonna be all in the paper, so you might as well just settle out of court.
I can recognize talent. Even if I don't agree with the politics, a lot of the politics that was underlying in the show and some of the sentiments he was trying to share, I recognize artistry when an artist is present.
Yes, this is the definition of absolutely cooked. We'll never go back and take a look at her bad decision and take accountability for any of that.
Because there is powerful people in the industry, somehow there is a different law that applies to them. And I agree with that assessment.
Yo, what's going on, folks? Peace, blessings, glory, praise, and honor to the Most High. Hey, before we get into tonight's topic, because I got a lot to say, I just dropped 2 videos prior to this. Go check them out if you haven't. If you're not following me on YouTube, tap in with me, man. I'm constantly working. And my flowers to Sydney, Jason, everybody, man, who lock in with me weekly to do these panels, to have these conversations. They're not a waste. They are very insightful, and I just got to make sure I acknowledge them for taking time out of their day to sit up here and converse and chop it up with us. If you want to keep in contact with me, everything is at the bottom. Open mic, tap in for next week. I got a cipher that I'm trying to bring back. So if you think you can hang with us, man, tap in. It's fun. It's pretty chill. Shout out to SM, right? For those of you who are not familiar, SM reached out to me, and she wanted me to cover a specific case, Shanquella Robinson. My condolences to this young lady. There's a lot to unpack here, and I want to give my condolences first to her family and her friends, if she actually had any. Based on this story, I'm not too sure she really did have any friends, for real. This case opens your eyes a lot more to the way that the world is, the way that humans are, how we treat each other, the nature and the conditioning in which we are brought up in. It makes you really cherish life. It makes you look at yourself closer in the mirror, it forces you to challenge yourself in ways that you never would. It makes you change your entire outlook on life and death, on values, on morals, on who you keep around you, how you treat yourself, how you love your loved ones, how you spend your money, how you treat just every intangible externally and internally. It really forces you to be a human. Remove all of your stereotypical ways of thinking, remove your anger, remove your bitterness, remove your biases towards a certain race or a certain culture of people. This ain't got nothing to do with being black, white, Chinese, Spanish, Indonesian. It doesn't have anything to do with none of that. This is about being a human being, fellowship, having God or not having God, good and evil, right and wrong. And we can have these conversations until the end of time and until the second coming, when Jesus decides to return and come for the rapture. We can do this all day and every day. We can do this on blogs. We can do this on YouTube. We can do this on TikTok. You can have your scientists. You can have your psychologists. You can have your radio personalities, your favorite singers, rappers, artists. Doesn't really make a difference. We can talk about this until we blue in the face. The fact of the matter is, it's still happening. It hasn't stopped. And quite frankly, I've had it up to here with it. I understand the nature, but I've had it up to here with it. Shanquella Robinson. To summarize, to give you your dose of tragedy for this weekend, it's not like we don't have enough of it. To be fair, I wanted to just summarize. Essentially, what happened here is she went on a trip to Cabo with a friend and associates. Unfortunately, she didn't return. And the reason she didn't return is still under investigation, pretty much. Now, what I'm going to do here, I'm going to read to you what I had to take time out and read for myself. I'm not going to cheapen this. I'm not going to rob anyone of this information. I'm not going to take any shortcuts. I'm going to give you this detail by detail for what I have. And then you do with the information as you will. You can ignore it, go on with the rest of your life, or you can take this and do as you so fit. Before we leave this stream tonight, I don't want anyone looking at you opening your eyes and closing your eyes the way that you looked at it this morning when you got up. I don't want you looking at your enemies as enemies. I don't want you looking at the day like it's just another sun up, sun down. I don't want you going into social media, going to different platforms, doing what you typically do and think that is just a regular day. It's not a regular day. Nothing is regular about the time that we are allotted when we get up out of that bed, because we don't have to. She didn't get to. So, shall we proceed? Shanquella Bernarda Robinson, January 9th, 1997 to October 29th, 2022, was an American businesswoman, founder of a women's fashion clothing line, hairstylist, and social media personality from North Carolina, United States, who was murdered while on vacation in Mexico. She died October 29th, 22, shortly after traveling with a friend and a group of loose acquaintances to the Mexican resort of Cabo San Lucas. There was a considerable public interest and intrigue surrounding the cause of her death. In addition, substantial collaborative efforts of citizen journalism and amateur news bloggers played an important role in bringing attention to Robinson's death, to the point of Mexican authorities facing enhanced scrutiny, particularly because the municipal police department initially treated the death as a case of conventional tourist alcohol intoxication. A video later surfaced which showed Robinson being attacked in a rental villa prior to her death. The circumstances leading to her death, as well as the medical treatment policy report, or should I say police report, and forensic inquiries into the case have led to an ongoing high-profile transnational criminal investigation within the United States and Mexico. She left her home state, decided that she wanted to get away for whatever reason, maybe to let her hair down, to have a good time. She wanted to go with a friend. Now, reading this, even saying like the other individuals were kind of just like people that just came with them, already like a red flag, already a huge like do nots. You don't really know them. You know them, but you don't know them. You know one person. The rest of them are just tagging along. Maybe the tag alongers are associated with your friend, or maybe you just kind of worked with them on certain shit. I don't know, but you don't never travel anywhere with people that you don't know, for real, for real. I'm not going anywhere with a single soul that I've only known for a week, a month. But I digress. Let's get into the investigation and the death. On October 29th, a day after the group's arrival, at around 2:13 p.m., a doctor from the American Medical Center Cabo San Lucas was requested because a resident at the resort was feeling unwell. At around the same time, Shanquella's mother, Salamandra Robinson, received a phone call from one of the daughter's travel companions saying that her daughter had taken ill and that a doctor was on the way to tend to her welfare. Dr. Carolina Beatrice Ornelius Gutierrez from the American Medical Center arrived within an hour and found a female in stable condition, but dehydrated, disoriented, verbally unresponsive, unable to communicate, and appearing to be intoxicated. The explanation given to the doctor was that Robinson drank a lot of alcohol. The doctor recommended that Robinson be admitted into the hospital, but her travel companions insisted she be treated in the apartment room. What?
What? What?
Is it just me? Am I the only one that sees something wrong with that? Where do we start here? The doctor's advising she goes to the hospital. You're going to tell me, that if your friend or your spouse or partner has shown signs that they are not really responsive, they're not well, they don't look as if they can take care of themselves physically at all, you telling me that you have someone come with a license that is medically trained, that is trained in general to be able to tell you, look, this ain't something ain't right here. We need to get them to a hospital so that they can be in better care. You telling me you're gonna say, oh nah, it's okay. Just throw them a couple of band-aids, give her some Robitussin, something to drink, put a cold cloth over her forehead, let her lay here for a little while. She'll be all right. She'll be all right. That has to be some of the most disturbing what the fuck. I've heard people say dumb shit before, and I've been sick before. I know my limitations. I know damn well that if I break a toe or dislocate my elbow or shoulder, I'm not about to put a fucking band-aid on that. I am not about to sit up here and fix some fucking Campbell soup to heal a broken finger, or I have some type of bleeding that won't stop. I'm just, just go fix you some chunky noodle soup. You'll be no. Nothing about any of the beginning of this to this portion alone sits right with me anyway. Off the break, you're gonna let your folks just sit up in there and suffer. They can't speak for themselves. Obviously, she couldn't say too much of anything, and you're the only ones that's standing in between her and death. You are the one right now that can give her the best chance of surviving whatever it is that she's going on. And you mean to tell me your only solution is, based on what the doctor says, is to go against the doctor and do what the hell you want? All right. Right. During medical treatment, the doctor attempted to administer an IV drip. However, Robinson's condition worsened when she suffered a tonic-clonic seizure, a stiffening of the body, arms, and legs around 4:13 p.m., about 1 hour after the doctor's arrival. An ambulance was called around 4:20 p.m. after Robinson began having trouble breathing, with her pulse dropping as well. Robinson then suffered a cardiac arrest. Ambulance paramedics called to the scene around 4:49 p.m. tried to resuscitate Robinson, administering 14 CPR rounds of cardiovascular compressions and intraorbital pressure to the chest, in an attempt to establish venous blood oxygen saturation and blood flow, as well as injecting 5 doses of adrenaline and 6 electrical discharges from a defibrillator. However, they were unable to revive any return of heartbeat, pulse, blood flow, pupillary reflexes, or other human vital signs. Shanquella Robinson was declared clinically dead at 5:57 p.m. according to police report. Right. So you have one friend who tells the doctor, don't do shit. She just had too much to drink. Just let him go. Just let her lay here. She'll be all right. She just, too much tequila. But we find out and we see here clearly that there was a lot more happenings with her than was acknowledged. And you got to understand, we're talking increments, an hour within the time span of the doctor being here. All of this is going on. Now you want to wait until right. No one else sees something wrong here. Nothing. What was the difference between her being in excellent health before she left for Cabo versus when she got there? What is the main factor? It's not really a difficult thing. Most people would have tried to pin it on her being a tourist. Some natives from Mexico might have played a part in this. No. Shit like this usually ties back to the people that are closest to you. And that shit always stems from some form of envy, jealousy, gossip, you getting mad over the most ridiculous shit, getting bitter and spiteful over like the most idiotic reasons. You ignored the doctor's recommendations and you ignored them. My theory is you ignored them because you knew the harm that was done to her. If identified, it would have put the eyes and it would have put the attention on, well, how did this happen? You didn't want nobody to really know, like, this ain't just about alcohol. The doctor at the time, I don't know how well they're trained to determine other factors on the spot, because you don't have the equipment to run an x-ray and say, oh damn, this is this, and she could only give but so much analysis. So you're trying to keep the doctor from getting her the help that she needs. It's almost like you wanted her to die. You didn't want her to survive her injuries, because if you really were concerned, you would have done everything in your power to give her the best chance to make it through what was happening to her. You didn't do that. And I think that shows just how screwed up human beings can be when you're that like hateful towards somebody, envious towards somebody, you want their life, you're not happy with yourself, or you just don't know how to hash out your disputes properly through communicating, cutting ties with a person instead of setting them up, sabotaging them, doing things to them to make yourself feel better about how they made you feel about something that in a week, in 2 weeks, you ain't even going to feel the same way. Emotional, weak, disrespectful, childish, unadulterated, foolish human beings, men and women alike. So this woman starts stiffening up. Her body starts stiffening up. She can't breathe. She's going into cardiac arrest. Now y'all want to get the ambulance involved. You could have done that a good 30, 40 minutes ago, an hour ago. She could have been somewhere getting looked at. Y'all didn't want that though. Let's continue. The police report. Police officers Omar and David of the Los Cabos Municipal Police Department were the first two responding officers at the scene around 5:25 p.m. They were briefed by Dr. Gutierrez, who informed the officers that medical treatment was requested for a young lady who had ingested too much alcohol. She briefed the officers that she had found a female in stable but unresponsible condition and that she had planned to admit her to hospital on an IV line, which her travel companions objected to.
What?
Claiming they instead requested that the young lady be treated in the hotel room. How much can you really do for somebody in a hotel room? You don't know what the fuck is going on with them physically. The doctor is not Superman. She can't see through your body. She can't examine you properly. How much can you really do? Yeah, y'all absolutely had some shit to do with this. You wanted something to happen to this woman. I'm convinced 1000%. Instead, requested that the young lady be treated in the hotel room, after which her condition worsened even after arrival of ambulant paramedics. After Robinson was declared dead, the investigating police officers notified the General Prosecutor's Office Attorney General in the state of Baja California, reaching State Attorney Julio Daniel around 6:35 p.m. and informing him of the death of a foreign citizen. They were instructed to file reports and investigation forms before handing the case to ministerial police. Based on eyewitness accounts and consultation with Dr. Omelius Gutierrez, the police report concluded that a deceased person had died of alcohol poisoning and that she died 2 hours and 45 minutes after the doctor was called to the residence. There was no observation of internal or external injuries in the police report. What I say? You might be able to tell, like, if my shit was like bent backwards or something, you would be able to notice if there was like a wound or something that was open and it was constantly bleeding, if there was some indication that harm or extreme damage was done, then maybe you would have a better assessment. She just appeared to be out of it. You can only do but so much as an examiner, and y'all didn't want anything to be done. Based on this police report and the investigators of the Mexican authorities, the U.S. State Department initially released a statement reporting that Mexican authorities said there was no clear evidence Robinson was murdered. Now, this is where it gets interesting. And when things get tricky, see, I've already read this, but this is for you, just in case you didn't get a chance to check this out. On November 5th, a notarized English translation of Robinson's death certificate based on an autopsy report from forensic Dr. Renee Galvin Oseguera from the Secretariat of Health, dated November 4, 2022, was released. The autopsy report described Robinson's death 15 minutes after suffering a severe spinal cord injury and an atlas luxation. Now, I didn't know what the hell that word was. Never heard of it before. I heard of the spinal cord injury. I've never heard of atlas luxation, but it goes further, which is basically a dislocation or separation of the skull base from the atlas bone, the first bone of the neck. Basically, this right here. The forensic doctor made the following forensic observations in the official autopsy report. Cause of death, severe spinal cord injury and atlas luxation. Approximate time between injury and death, 15 minutes. Situation, circumstance, or reason in which the injury occurred, person found unconscious in her living room. Was it accidental or violent death? Yes, it was determined. They found out that this was intentional. Not only was it intentional, based on what I'm understanding, a bone or a couple of bones in the back of your neck, this right here that leads from your skull to your back, that part right there was beaten so bad. There was so much pressure applied to that portion of the body. You had to have been stomping on this woman. You had to be hitting this woman with some type of brute force. There had to be some extreme form of anger and some level of disdain and strength and energy put into this in order for you to be able to separate, dislocate, and cause the bone in the spinal column to just be separated from your skull, ultimately ending this woman's life. That right there is absolutely nuts to me. You don't know me from a can of pee. I don't know you from a can of pee. Most of us are probably just being introduced to each other for the first time ever. And if you are a first time viewer, I appreciate you for being there. My heart goes out to this woman. You lost your life because of envy, because of jealousy, and maybe there's some other things that happened within that circle that you were involved in that nobody will ever know about but the parties involved. Did it really have to come to this? Was this really necessary? Yeah, I swear, you really, within your heart of hearts, you swear that everything requires death. Everything requires violence. You don't know how to problem solve nothing. You don't know how to resolve anything. Talking. Who cares about talking? Walking away. Who wants to walk away? I'm a grown ass man. I'm a grown ass woman. I ain't about to let you talk to me how you want. You not about your pride and your ego gets in the way every time. Every time. People are dead because you are stupid.
Damn.
You're moronic.
Damn.
You're emotionally fucked up.
Damn.
I bet you can't even properly write a coherent sentence. People like this, you make the world a horrible place to be. With friends and associates like the ones she had, based on what I read here, you tried to cover up, you tried to lie. I didn't even go into all of the other stuff. You tried to look. When people don't like you, but they pretend like they like you, they will smile in your face. They'll have lunch with you. They'll pay and cover your tab. They'll hug your family members. They'll tell people how good of a person you are. They'll buy you a birthday card. They'll have lunch with you. And in the back of their head, they hate you because you did something that they don't like, or because you got the presence of God on you, or because you got somebody that they wanted and they don't want them, or because you're doing better at the job than they are and they can't stand you, or they just don't like you for no reason at all. Maybe you look better than them. Maybe you're more in shape. Maybe you're a better friend or a better human being and they can't stand it. It's always something petty. It's always a retarded excuse for why a person is motivated to render somebody lifeless or incapacitated. And then your dumbass goes to jail, or you cover up your tracks and you go out of your way to go to the funeral, act like you were concerned about them when you're responsible for the pain that is going on in their household. and you're really there just to cover up your tracks and to show face and to make it look like you gave a shit, and you're really the fucking monster. All of you fuckers need to go to jail. None of you should be on the same planet as us. I don't hate you, but I really don't like you. Because y'all immature. Y'all immature as shit. Whatever issues you had with that woman, you could have handled them one-on-one, because based on what I initially read, there was a video that got leaked out there that y'all basically jumped her. It wasn't a one-on-one. That would have been honorable at least. But you jumped her. Y'all tried to get rid of evidence. And then on top of that, you made it very clear you didn't want her to survive those beatings and that assault in general, because you didn't want the doctor to get her proper help. You know what type of human you got to be? Like, you know that this person suffered. You know this person has sustained serious injuries. You know it in the back of your head. The doctor is just coming in. Passerbys are just coming in. That doctor didn't know nothing. She just happened to arrive and she's trying to do her job. You know that y'all stomped her out. You know that you did everything within your power to let that woman know that you didn't like her for whatever reason. You wanted her to feel that shit. You wanted her to know that it was you, that you had this all planned out. That woman didn't go to Cabo with the expectations of losing her life. That woman went there under the assumptions that she was safe. She went there under assumptions that the people that were with her were solid, at least her friend. She went there under the assumption that she didn't have no reasons to really feel like her life was threatened. And that's how human nature is, man. We got good people and we got shitty people. The shitty people pretending to be good people, they do shit like this all the time. And you think discernment is a joke. You think it's a joke to be cautious about who you keep around you, who you sleep with. It's not a joke. It's not a game. Antagonizing people, bullying people, playing favorites, being biased, being picky about who deserves this and who deserves that, and all that goofy, immature shit, it needs to stop. It needs to cease. Now, your dumbass is going to jail. And if you don't get to that portion, you're definitely going to be judged. Not by me. God is definitely going to judge you. And he's going to do it to perfection. As good as you cover up your disdain and your hatred and jealousy towards people, as much as you set out here and plot on people and you do everything within your power to tear someone down, and you try to rationalize it with your own dumbass logic. Oh, he hit me, so I hit him back. Oh, he said something to me, so I said something back. Grow fuck up. Grow up. You better watch these people that you call your friends, man. They probably fucking your uncles, your cousins, your sisters, your brothers. They probably sleeping with your baby mama. They probably sleeping with your baby father. They probably got their eye on that same girl that you crushing on. And you're looking at me like I'm crazy. All right. Okay. And tell that to Miss Robinson, because I'm pretty sure she thought she was in good hands too. They collectively, in my opinion, the verdict is still out on it. In my honest opinion, they did this. Took her somewhere else, thinking, they could. What's funny about this is it's not funny in a hee ha ha way. It's funny in like, how dare you play with my intelligence? You really think I'm that stupid? You think that you can, in Jamie Foxx's voice, blame it on the alcohol? She died from alcohol poisoning, right? Because that was I'm assuming automatically that's your alibi. The alcohol poisoning is what ended her life. You thought that you could use that, knowing damn well that eventually, if she happens to pass away, they're going to get to the bottom of it. You do realize that these men and women who sit up there in those freezers and they cut these bodies open and they examine the cause and death, you do realize that they are smarter than you are. They can tell a story without even knowing the history. Archaeologists can trace pyramids back 2,000 years. They know how to cultivate and preserve bones of soldiers from 20,000 years ago and shit. You mean to tell me that you're going to blame her death on her drinking too much? Oh, let me guess. She drank too much and she probably just fell and hurt herself. Is that what you're going with? Yeah. Y'all really be sitting up there having your intentions planned out weeks and months before you even execute. Y'all just plaster on this Krusty the Clown ass face, and then when it's time to do what you got to do, you go off of your routine and what you practice. You're still a idiot. Now we have another black woman who is no longer here over something that absolutely couldn't have been worth that. Chalk it up. Chalk it up to the culture. Chalk it up to the rap. Chalk it up to celebrating violence and not wanting to have fellowship and not wanting to have God in our life. Let's give her a round of applause to us. You showed the white people, you showed the Indians, and you showed the KKK. You showed Donald Trump. You showed the world that black people can be more than what they thought we could. Congratulations. You sure showed up for me. You sure you sure as hell are the representation of excellence. I am inspired by you. Being conniving and jealous of another person's success and wanting to covet another person's marriage and husband and wife, and I want to rob from my own culture. I want to beat the shit out of my own culture and kill my own culture while slaving to the people who really be hating on us and using us. I don't want to support my own black companies and my own black businesses. I want to stand on the corner and sell drugs and poison and kill my own community. I want to argue and trade this masculine, feminine bullshit. Congratulations. You did exactly what you said you was going to do. Thank you. Now, because of your inability to regulate your feelings or emotions, thanks to you being lazy and not wanting to work hard, thanks to you wanting to reject the Bible, thanks to you for wanting to reject anything that goes opposite of the ridiculous mindset that was programmed into us, now I can continuously be a stereotype. Now I can work extra hard. Thank you for putting me in a position where I have to work extra hard to be accepted by my black culture. Thank you for making it easier for me to work harder, to be accepted by the world that already hated me in the first place. Thank you. Thank you for making it more accessible for violence to happen. Thank you for making it more accessible for children to repeat the cycles that you repeat. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So every single body, every soul in here that's watching, you too can be a part of the hate train. Tell your friends to hate on her. Go ahead and hate on him. Don't support him. Don't support her. Talk about her tracks. Talk about her hair. Talk about him being too short. Talk about him not making enough money to date you. Talk about them being on property that doesn't belong to them. Go and shoot your brother from around the corner. Go and kill somebody and take them away from their loved ones. Go ahead and go out here and slander somebody for no reason. Go ahead and be angry that someone stepped on your shoes and you can't go ahead. You got it. I'm the fool. I'm the idiot. I'm the nerd. I'm the one sitting up here trying to do the complete opposite. My bad. Excuse me for wanting to have these type of conversations. A woman is dead. She's no longer coming back to the land of the living. I don't know if she's in one place or the other. That's God's decision. She can't speak for herself no more. She can't live life no more. Her family is in pain. They're hurting. They need justice. They want justice. Of course. What do I know though? I've never had to bury anyone, right? I've never been a loner. I've never suffered pain and suffering from betrayal. I've never dealt with liars and manipulators. I've never had to work hard for anything. I never had to do and go the extra mile to get people to be right. What was I thinking? Shit. Who doesn't want to step outside when there's drive-bys 24 hours a day? Who doesn't want to go to their gas stations and someone snatches the keys out of the car or rides off with their vehicle? Who doesn't want to pull up to a gas station? They just going in there to pump number 9, and then a shootout happens and you get hit. Oh, hell yeah, sign me up for that. Are you out of your mind? What? You telling me that I can just walk outside my door and just go to church and I can get shot? You telling me I have the honor and privilege of doing that? Woo! Ooh, shit! Damn! I didn't know I was that blessed. I didn't realize that I had the privilege to be in the grave early. Sign me up for being dead at 19 and 10 years old. Sign me up for being a toddler in the grave because somebody decided that their revenge meant that it doesn't really make a difference who gets caught up in it as long as I get my target. Congratulations. You got what you wanted. You got what you wanted. She didn't have friends. Those wasn't her friends. And the way that they treated this case was absolutely detestable. How can you treat a human being this way? I never in my life had such hatred. I've never looked at anyone and thought that they need to be eliminated forever. I've never gone into an establishment on the job, dealt with another human being, no matter how much they did everything in their power to make my life a living hell. I never, ever thought in my head that your life wasn't valuable. See, I'm not wired like a lot of y'all. I don't have a problem talking it out. And if we can't talk it out, I still don't need to have to prove my manhood to you by violence. I walk away unharmed. You walk away unharmed. Y'all don't seem to grasp the concept. Your pride and your ego has cost you friends, family, loved ones, freedom. Same cycle over and over and over again. It hasn't stopped yet. This has been going on before. Everybody here was born, and it's not going anywhere. And you know why it's not going anywhere? Because you don't want it to go anywhere. You don't. You can lie to me, and you can lie to yourself. But you don't care. You don't care if it's safe or not to walk up and down your streets. You don't care what criminals are doing because it ain't got nothing to do with you. You don't care. So it's not going to stop. You don't stand for anything. You're just, it ain't got nothing to do with me. All right. But you know, the interesting thing about that, even though you know I'm telling the truth, you're not going to own up to it or admit that I'm telling the truth. As far as you're concerned, it don't really make a difference to you until you pick this up and you realize that there's thousands of Shanquella Robinsons, hundreds of thousands of her in every town, in every city. There's one of her or him everywhere you go. And all of them have something similar in common. They suffered from the same fate. We're weak. We're weak. We're emotionally weak. We are broken. We need to be healed. We need new direction. We need new perspective, perception, clarity. We need all of that. So when is enough enough? When does this stop? Can we find other ways to handle and resolve issues? Can we at least try it for, I don't know, a day, a week, a year? Can we at least give it a go? Just you know, I mean, I don't mind you know, elderly people getting the shit beat out of them and robbed for everything that he got. But can we, like, I don't know, try to, I don't know, not beat the shit out of elderly people? Can we, I don't know, try not to sit up here and drug and poison the community and then rap about it like it's something to celebrate? Just a thought. I don't know. Well, what am I thinking though? Well, maybe I, shit is crazy. And again, my heart goes out to her family, man. SM, I thank you for giving me this. I do. This is why I do what I do with this channel. Let's talk about things that matter. Let's honor the lives of people who can't do it themselves no more. She has no voice. Everything that she was going to accomplish cut short. On top of that, you don't even know what tomorrow is going to bring. You don't know how people really feel towards you. You don't even know how you feel towards yourself. Everything is recreational. You're just living in the moment. Right. And there's another one that I want to go and speak on. I'm not going to do it here. I'm just baffled how nobody is really bothered by this. You're not concerned whatsoever. Not a single ounce of empathy. And until it's your family. And then you're plastering every detail on social media. And you want the world to hear you. You want them to see you. You want to raise GoFundMes. You want people to extend an olive branch, shake your hand, feel bad for you, but you can't extend the same feeling towards anyone else. How do we make motion happen? You heard the story. If you want to look into it further to find out what happened, will these individuals get the punishment that they deserve? We can follow up on it. But what do you suppose moving forward we do? How do we continue to make this expand to other audiences and to other ears so that these conversations don't go to waste? You can repost, you can share, you can hit the thumbs up, you can let the algorithm know that we're not talking about going to the restaurant to eat, and we're not sitting up here talking about the penis size and how tall a dude is and how attractive a female is. We're not just having these random sexually charged discussions every single day. You push the button, the repost, and let people know that there are angry men out here. There are angry women out here. We don't support what people like they do. We don't support violence. We don't support ignorance. We don't support injustice. We want resolve. We want the dangerous people off the street. Your voice is just a click away. Your voice is just a repost away. But of course, what do I know? What do I know? She deserved this hour. She can't speak up for herself. Because I would really have loved to know what was this about? What was all of this about? It really is horrible. And I'm gonna stay on this case because I really hope and pray that everyone that was involved in this goes to jail. It can't remove the pain. You can never replace that prison time with the life of someone that you love. But we can honor these people. Every single soul that has been trodden down, we can honor them by putting more respect on ourselves what we are investing in, what we are harvesting, we can honor these people by doing better. We can honor these people by being louder, being more involved. And then it doesn't even have to be this. It can be anything. The whole point is be better than what you were the day before. Is that really too much to ask? I don't think it is. Not at this age. Not with everything that's been going on. I don't think we're asking, or I'm asking for much. But I'll leave y'all with that. It wasn't alcohol poisoning. She was murdered. She was attacked, assaulted, and she was beaten to the point that her body couldn't withstand the punishment that it endured. And they didn't do nearly enough to give her the best chance to live. That's awful. That's awful, man. I'm not even mad at being by myself. I'm not mad at it at all. When you really think about how a person feels about you, for real. When you realize when a person's not showing up for you like you showed up for them, and all of this shit is happening under your nose and in your face, and you don't lose. I don't lose sleep over a damn soul. Not a damn soul. All of y'all can go. Whoever you are. You ain't never showed up for me. You ain't never been here when I needed you the most. But you've always been one of the main factors to why I suffered or why I hurt. So as far as I'm concerned, there's only one option for you.
Oh, fuck you, fuck you. Fuck you, fuck you.
Cut it out.
I'm not trying to hear nothing. I'm cool. And my thoughts and prayers go out to everyone here. My thoughts and prayers go out to her family. My thoughts and prayers go out to you vengeful, wicked individuals, man, that got all of this just ugliness in your heart, man. Y'all need to get rid of that shit. You holding on to too much. It's time to let that shit go, man. That can't be a fun way to live, man. It can't. I refuse to believe it. I'm gonna probably tap in with y'all tomorrow. We'll see, Lord willing. Like I said, I dropped 2 vids today. I did a review on the Snow White bullshit, and I did a reaction video to Sean Kingston getting charged with wire fraud, federal fraud. Yeah, check those out if you haven't. They on my YouTube channel. Make sure you tap in. If you got a channel yourself, I'll follow back. I'll check out what you got going on. If you got any topics you want to see me cover up here or the panel, we'll present it to the table if it's worth having a discussion over. But I'm about to get up out of here. You guys enjoy the rest of your evening. I appreciate y'all for hanging out. And yeah, God bless.